All right, everybody, please begin with the starter, March 9th starter. Please begin, y'all. I don't remember writing it. I wrote it probably last week at some point. All right. It's probably based on documents H and document I in the digital notebook. All right, but go ahead and begin that, please. And then we'll take it from there. I'll give you a couple minutes, y'all.
Musa para, Musa para, Musa para, Musa para, Sadanayo, Musa para, Musa para, Sadanayo, wage digupa kuononga, wage digupa kuononga, ndiwole pela inu salana, ndiwole pela inu salana, Musa patem, Musa patem, Musa patem, Musa patem, Musa patem.
All right, y'all, let's move forward to the summary page. So today you're going to identify modern day issues in South Africa. Okay, that's the objective. North Carolina Standard Course of Study. Understand the development of government in modern societies and regions. Unit is Africa and the Middle East for 4 or 5 more days. Discontent creates change. We're really going to get into that today as we start a project. And then synchronous work is the starter, which you just finished. We're going to review. We're going to look at 111. We're going to look at 112. You're not actually doing anything on those pages. We're just going to look at those. One is the task sheet for the project, and one is the rubric for the project. But then we're going to begin 113, South Africa website, day 1, and then the ticket out the door. All right. So your asynchronous work is to complete 113, South Africa website, day 1. Okay. Everybody go in your digital notebook now. Give you 30 seconds. Maybe less to get ready. Let's everybody go to page 111, please. All right, y'all, here we go. So what I'm going to do is I tried to basically copy exactly what was on 111 in the digital notebook with the with Canvas. They're going to look identical, but it's going to probably look a little bit better in the digital notebook. So I'm going to go there now. Okay. Let's look at 111 in the digital notebook, please. All right, so here we go. So here's general overview of what we're doing the rest of this week, okay, and Monday, okay? Students must research current inequities in post-apartheid South Africa. So again, apartheid ended in 1994. The official policy of racial segregation or separation in South Africa ended in 1994. Okay. And so now we're going to look at what South Africa is like today and to identify if there are any inequities. Okay. If there are still these differences between the groups of people in South Africa. You're going to then, second task here, choose one issue to address. You're going to identify and focus on one of those inequities or one, okay? Then you're going to identify the root cause of the issue. Why is there an issue with that? And then 3 actions to address the issue. What can you do as an organization, a person? What could be done to alleviate or address that issue? And then brainstorm 3 strategies to raise awareness about that issue and what you want to do. And then create a website for a mock organization to address the issue. So that overall is your project. Is we're going to work on identifying issues. Then we're going to work on brainstorming ways to address the issue. And then you're going to make a website that kind of you will could then share addressing about how you plan to address that issue. Okay. So timeline and outline of expectations for the website are below. Day 1. Now I separated this into 4 days and I basically copied it into the different notebook pages. Okay. But I just wanted you to see it all in one place. So today, day 1, here's what we're focusing on. Inquiry towards the problem. What are the problems in South Africa today? And then identify root or historical cause. If you look at day 1, that's the same thing if you go to page 113, but I just put it separate, okay? So that's where you're actually going to do the work is on page 113. You don't need to write anything on 111, okay? Day 2, inquiry, what are 3 realistic actions to address the chosen problem? Day 3, create a Google site, create the website, what's the name, logo, goal of the organization, and then complete any unfinished tasks. You're going to check that out. That's day 4. That's Monday. Publish the website, share the link, okay, for me to look at, okay? Everybody, let's look at 112. Let's do this first. Any questions about 111? Okay, y'all want to put in the chat anything? Any questions? All right. I'll take some time to address those questions if you do have any of them. All right. Let's look at 112 now. 112. This is the rubric. This is how you're going to be graded on this project. It is valued at 15 points. Okay. I thought it was going to be more. I thought it was going to be 20. I'll take a look at it and make any adjustments if I need to. All right, but here you go. This is how you are going to gain all 15 points. Do you have a catchy campaign name? Catchy logo, slogan, short blurb on the organization's goals? Do you have great quality work, grammar, spelling, formatting on the website itself? That'd be valued at 5 points, 1 point each. Okay, you're going to self-assess, and then I will also assess and fill in your rubric. Were you able, talking about the problem, were you able to clearly identify the root historical cause to the problem? Did you clearly identify a problem? Did you use up to 3 charts, graphs to show the problem's existence? That'll be on the website that you'll create, or find 3 graphs, charts to show the problem. Then use other resources to explain and contextualize the charts and graphs. And we'll talk more about that as we get to the development of the website. And then, is there great quality of work? Grammar, spelling, formatting. Does it look good? Okay. Then solution. Clearly identify 3 realistic actions to the stated problem. Find 3 resources to help support the 3 realistic actions you proposed. Include at least 1 graphic for each problem. And then, did you develop 1 to 2 strategies that will spread awareness, like a social media campaign? All right, maybe model TikTok posts to spread awareness, whatever that may look like. And did you have great quality of work? All right, so that's 15 points total. If any of that changes, I will let you know. Also, take into consideration this thinking critically, criterion D for IB. Okay, this is probably what we'll look at when we're determining an IB grade for this, if that is what we do. So we'll talk more about that later on, but it's all about thinking critically. Are you able to look at what this issue is, think about it critically, identify potential actions, look at what other people have done all throughout the world to address similar issues, and see if you can put that in your development of a website. Okay, everybody, let's go to 113, please. 113, I'll give you about 20 seconds to get ready to go because we're going to start doing our work now. All right, y'all. So here is your task today. So you are not going to write in this first column, day one. You're not going to write anything in this second column under task. The only thing you're going to write on in this organizer is in the notes section. I tried to put bullet points and numbers so you get an idea of how much you should be writing in this area. Okay, so here, 3 problems identified from National Geographic article. We're all going to look at this National Geographic article, and I want you to identify 3 problems, 3 inequities, 3 areas, 3 issues that you see that kind of make you upset, that get you going, okay? That maybe you can address or research or look more into, okay? When it comes to present day in South Africa, okay? That is the first step as we read this article together. The second step is highlight one to further research. And then the third step is what could be the root cause of this issue, okay? All right, so for example, in the United States, I think we still have an issue with segregation, okay? We still have predominantly white and black neighborhoods in the United States, or issues of white neighborhoods and then minority neighborhoods, okay? It doesn't mean it's everywhere, but that's still an issue in the United States. So if I'm looking and I'm trying to understand what's the root cause, like why is it that way? Then I could look back at history and policies of the government and this thing called redlining, where literally when suburbs were created, black citizens could not get a home loan for certain neighborhoods. And that was probably the start of a lot of this segregation that still exists today. So that would be the historical cause, okay? So I hope that makes sense as an example. Okay, let's, everybody click on the article, please. Everybody go to the article, give y'all 10 seconds. You may need to put your email in to just get access to it, but go ahead and do that now. All right, so here is what I'm just going to kind of give you a quick tour of this article, and then you're going to read it and identify some of these issues, okay? All right, but if I'm looking, right, apartheid ended 29 years ago. How has South Africa changed? Now, I want you to focus on, now, if I'm you, right, I get attracted to like the images and the captions of the images, and I forget about the article. I would read everything, okay? Don't just focus on the images, right? But you'll see some really incredible photography. And it's really awesome to read what, you know, the captions on those images. But don't get so distracted by that that you forget to read the content, the meat of the article here. Okay. So what you're going to do is read through this article. I'm going to do this as well, and I'm going to stop it once I find a really good example, one example for you to include in your digital notebook as an issue. But as you're reading it, maybe you'll see something along the lines of, it is difficult for Black South Africans to vote. Then you could put that as an issue if you want. Okay, you could put that as an issue in the digital notebook. I don't believe that's an issue in here, but that would just be an example. So I'm going to press play on the music. I'm going to read as well. When I find an issue in the reading, I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to put that issue in the digital notebook for y'all to see. And you can steal that one from me if you want as well. So y'all go ahead and start reading this article. Once you find that issue, okay, add it in there, and then keep reading until you find another issue. Okay, go ahead, y'all.
Looking out the window from the inside of my head, what I had in mind. Is it recess or recession? Bit worried, cause I ain't stressing. One side said we gon' hit the incline. One side said we get in the end time. In the middle of the match where I been fine. I ain't confined, I was left in. If it's out of my control, I ain't stressing. Only cutting from the cloth I was dressed in. Well groomed in a room full of best men. Gray suit try to check me, not the question. On average, I'm the exception. Run the math if it's anything less than. If the path get blocked even one time, no conspiracy can tell me what it meant then. So what's next then? I'ma keep it moving, I got no choice. Representing for the weak of us with no voice. Rich enough to be protected by who elected, and black enough to be respected, but still mess with. Pulled over in the Buick of a Rolls Royce. 5'9" and 6'3", they gon' feel threatened. Your fragility is sitting under your weapon. You ain't hard, you just capping cause you're so moist. More than one thing try to kill me, yeah. More than one name try to build me, yeah. Keep my hands clean, let's be talking about riches. That's the only thing that's filthy, yeah. Nothing left in this life left untainted. Upcharged.
All right, so as I was reading, I got down to this paragraph right here, above this home. Okay, I got down to this paragraph, so this is where I'm going to focus here. Okay, I remember it being quite shocking, the division between whites and blacks. Downtown Grahamstown is beautiful and pristine and looks like a fairy tale. But if you look down that main road, you see the big township that was full of mainly poor blacks who came into the city center during the day to work or look for work. It may sound naive, but I was a bit stunned that everything was still so distinctly separate. Okay, so if you're looking at that, an issue here you could look is, I mean, you could put in your digital notebook, and you can always change it, is maybe separate neighborhoods, right? Or maybe financial inequality. I see that both of those in that paragraph, okay? Now you can continue, you can get even more than three issues that you see in modern day South Africa. Because the idea is, yeah, you can end apartheid in 1994, but there's a lot stuck in the system that is still creating inequality, okay, throughout the country. Okay, go ahead and continue going here. Thank you.
For the pure, so we cut raw. Here's an app and some people you can complain with. Rest assured.
I'm the pros, I'm the cons, I'm the hope in the harm. I'm relief for belief, here to leave you in the storm. Throw a raft, throw a leash. What you need is what you form. Round your neck, on your arm, just keep calm. Rest assured it's the cure.
right, so if I'm looking again right in here, okay, this Dutch student came to South Africa. She started to see people protesting. I saw students fighting for their rights and workers demanding better pay. So if I'm going, I see that. I may go back here and say better pay. Okay, something like that. I don't want to do all this for y'all, but all right, you can continue reading. Continue reading.
Everybody got a way of coping. Talk about it, have a sip, smoke it. You can tell it's serious when I be downplaying. Most scared when I be joking. Looking for a fix and I'm hoping. Both knees on the ground praying. What I even hear when spoken? Feel more familiar than fake this. I'ma stop looking for an answer. Search inside how to make it. Media delivering the breakdown. And when it break down, I can take it. Tell me something that I wanna hear. Like, can you find a new replacement? Babylon line off the top. I'ma take it back to the basement. I could lose a door, found laying in a gutter. Get it all back, that's word to my mother. Comfy in the county where it's really all black. Chilly in the city where it's getting off color. Never made it rain, I can save a long rack. On a rainy day, you know how to take cover. Let it all flood, I'ma swim it all back. I ain't made an iron, I'm just braver than the others. Life don't let you, but it let it come test. But if you love life, you can't get a wrong number. If you go on to learn to take a long breath, wait it on now, come back with a flex. Looking for a hand, all I ever got was steps. Walk on once, now walk on quest. I can walk on water, I can walk on set. My drip game, only thing wet.
I'm the pros, I'm the cons, I'm the hope in the harm. I'm relief for belief, here to leave you in the storm. Throw a raft, throw a leash. What you need is what you form. Round your neck, on your arm, just keep calm. Rest assured it's the cure.
All right, if I'm looking at this paragraph, so I got down to this paragraph. I've added a few issues that I read, okay? But here, starting to see that so many people share hopes and dreams, but sometimes there was despair about unemployment and crime and xenophobia and violence against the LGBTQ community. All right, so you could identify that as an issue that is currently in South Africa.
Peace be under you. Mind frame, you don't speak. Sup with you. Time change, front door always open. Come on in, certain rooms it's off limits if you troubling. I can spot a user like computers. You ain't got no drive, you just wait for me to boot up. I keep hope alive, on my shoulders is my future. I'm coaching the team, got no players left to suit up. Put me in Hall of Fame, but off the wall, a flower grew in the shade in front of y'all. A power move, if you want some credit, now forget it. Ain't no water under bridges, I get wetted, I'm repellent. Shower proof, keep it clean until I can't. I take it there, never been, but confident. I make it there, harmful or you harmless. I keep calm until you are it. We aiming at each other, overcome it. I say two brothers walking through the world unprepared. One lit fear while the other one dead. Along came a chance, neither one of them could share. Are they aiming at each other or the air? Go ahead, shoot your shot.
All right, and then one other last thing I identified. So I identified 7 issues from separate neighborhoods like segregation, financial inequality, better pay. A lot of these will go in together, like financial inequality, better pay, and unequal pay. Okay, high tuition costs, support for the LGBTQ community, xenophobia, okay, people being afraid and hating, and crime against, violence against the LGBTQ community. And then you got the a little portion of the article was talking about how if you read in some of the images and the pictures, the couple, okay, where the man was black and the woman was white, and her being scolded for her decision to be in a relationship with the black man, and the stigma, the some of the attitudes about interracial couples, all right, and what those relationships look like, and interracial marriage, which we know, right, was illegal because of apartheid. They had an actual law that said you can't marry if you're not the same race, okay, or white people are not allowed to marry people of a different race or background. So those are the 7 issues that I had identified in this article alone. Now, here's what you're gonna do. Next step. I just need y'all a few more minutes here. Then I'll close out the Zoom. After you identify some of those, you need to identify, look at that and say, which one would you want to focus on more to create a campaign, a website to target or to improve that issue, okay? Maybe it's unequal pay. Maybe it's support for the LGBTQ community. Maybe it's interracial relationships. What you do is just highlight it, okay? Or make it bold or something, okay? All right, maybe highlight it. Let's see. Maybe you're going to focus on interracial relationships, okay? Good question about focusing on more than one. You could think about more than one at this point, and you could do additional research on more than one, but you're going to make a website that focuses only on one issue at the end of this. You may be passionate about, I mean, there's honestly a lot of these we want to address, right? Hopefully a lot of those get your blood boiling a little bit, raise your blood pressure, okay? All right, but let's say if we just focus on one and you pick one, there's no wrong answer here. And then you're going to identify what is the root cause of that issue. Why is there financial inequality? Why are there separate neighborhoods? Why is there better pay for the white individuals? Okay, why are tuition costs so high? Why is there unequal pay, again, which is similar to this one? Maybe I'll delete that one then. And I'll leave that. Okay, why is there xenophobia, hatred towards the LGBTQ community? And why is there an issue still with interracial relationships? Okay. All right. Any questions, y'all? Any questions? All right. So that is your job during your asynchronous work. Make sure you've got your list based on your reading. Make sure you've identified one and highlighted it. And then tell me and look and research and identify, okay, what is the root cause? If you don't know what the root cause is, you're going to have to research and look it up. See what you can figure out, okay? Look at some more of the history and maybe type that question. Why is there segregation in South Africa today? And see what those resources say, okay? All right, let's go. Take it out the door, please. Take it out the door. And y'all see that? Y'all see this stuff here? Did y'all read that? Did y'all read that about that camp? Sending. Oh man. All right. It's a survivalist group in South Africa organizes camps during school holidays for young white African or teenagers, teaching them self-defense against a perceived black enemy. Okay. I mean, this person like led part of the army under the old regime when there was still that strict segregation. And so I can't, I mean, read some of these things. It'll get you fired up. It'll get you fired up. All right. All right. Take it out the door, y'all. It's there. There's the rubric again. And then tomorrow we'll do day 2. Thursday, day 3, Monday, day 4. You have to do a little bit of this outside of school to make sure your website is good to go by Monday at this point. All right, objective, unit, statement of inquiry, asynchronous work. Hey, be careful with that asynchronous work. It's a little tricky today. It is a little tricky today. Look back at that summary page if you need any help. All right. Thanks, y'all.